Cardano ADA Explained for Beginners 2022. Hello and welcome back to Metaverse. For today's video, we will be going to talk about Cardano ADA. Let's get started. If you're familiar with cryptocurrency, you've probably heard of Vitalik Buterin. Buterin and a group of co-founders established Ethereum, a modest project in 2015. Now the second largest cryptocurrency, it has enormous potential. There were a few additional key founding members of Ethereum. Charles Hoskinson was one of these members. Only a few years later, Hoskinson was at the helm of a completely new project called Cardano, which was named after the Italian mathematician Gerolamo Cardano. What is Cardano? Cardano is simply just a proof-of-stake currency. Now, to really explain what it means and to summarize why it's not just some random altcoin, let's hear what the founder has to say about it. Basically, Hoskinson saw the cryptocurrencies would suffer from three main problems. These problems are scalability, interoperability, and sustainability. Let's go through each of these issues to understand the intentions behind the project. Scalability. Scalability fans of Bitcoin knows this project all too well. Because of Bitcoin's block size, the network can only confirm around 5 to 7 transactions per second. Now, this is not even comparable to the Visa behemoth that can do tens of thousands of transactions per second. The block size debate in the Bitcoin ranged on 4 years, but at least one question remains for basically any cryptocurrency. How can this project scale? Now, as Hoskinson has said, we actually want things to speed as more users use a system, not slow down as many of them do. If the network is being used, it needs to be speed up in order to be consistent for its users. What he meant was that a blockchain's capability should scale linearly with its usage. Cardano solves this by using what are called epochs, which basically divide up who validates certain blocks in the blockchain. To be even more precise, they use slots and many of nodes, which nodes are just computers from people or organizations that are running the blockchain. They can be nominated to be a slot leader. These terms don't really need to mean much to you, but they are what allows Cardano's proof of stake to scale. Cardano calls the system Ouroboros, but Ouroboros could warrant its own video. Due to its complexity, and important thing here is that the slots can be divided up further, which lets the network scale. Interoperability. So this is a very old technological problem. Let's think about this using an example of early wireless networking. If you've ever wanted to set up a wireless network in your house, you know you have to connect your devices with a router so that the signal can reach your device. But what if your Apple iPhone only connected to Apple routers? It wouldn't be very useful. If everybody had to get all the same hardware for everything from the ground up and from the same brand, and in fact that would probably be considered a monopoly by the United States government. So how does Cardano make sure that crypto doesn't suffer from the same problem? Well, it allows for people to easily bridge Cardano and other cryptocurrencies that use other blockchains by using something called the KMZ sidechains protocol. This is basically the crypto version of being able to easily exchange US dollars for Canadian dollars or euros or some other currency. Now, unlike other currencies, Cardano knows it won't be the only cryptocurrency, and because of this, it proactively works on an interoperability solutions using bridges. Sustainability. Now, if Cardano or any other cryptocurrency is going to host much of our financial lives, obviously we would need a way to guarantee that the system stays functioning. So, when we say sustainable, we don't necessarily mean environmentally sustainable, although many say that Cardano because of its proof of stake. Instead of proof of work, mechanism is environmentally sustainable. There is a huge debate about environmentalism in the crypto world. Regardless, what we are talking about is the network's ability to keep the lights on, continuing to make improvements and have a healthy development community. Cardano solves this by establishing a treasury which collects fees and pays them to those who make contributions to the network. In short, Cardano is a self-sustainable cryptocurrency that has intentions of improving itself in the future, and it is developed with that in mind now. You'll notice that Cardano seems to be designed with one thing in mind: solving problems very rationally and logically. This is a project created and run by a man who used to be a mathematician. Now, this shows up in several ways, namely the fact that it was named after an Italian mathematician. The token, which actually carries value and is used on the network, is called ADA. So, Cardano is the blockchain and ADA is the coin. Now, this is not Americans with Disability Acts, but it comes from the name of a woman who is now considered to be the first ever computer programmer, Ada Lovelace. Beyond naming conventions, Charles Hoskinson clearly has shown an ambition for tackling big challenges. Through methodical reason and problem solving, within the Cardano project there is tons of research being done, papers being written, and even peer reviews to get third-party feedback. Some may say Charles even had a cult-like following, but he does do often live stream update logs to update his audience. How is Cardano different from Ethereum? We're not gonna speculate about individual conflicts or personalities, but the story goes that Hoskinson thought Ethereum should be a for-profit entity, whereas Buterin wanted Ethereum to stay as a non-profit. Both of their wishes ended up coming true. In a way, Buterin stayed with Ethereum and Hoskinson took a sabbatical shortly, followed by a proposition. Fellow co-founder of Ethereum, Jeremy Wood, approached Hoskinson about creating a for-profit entity that would create blockchain projects for companies, governments, and even other organizations. Like this company became known as IOHK, or Input Output Hong Kong. And it's an homage to the engineering term and to the place that it was incorporated. So what does this have to do with Cardano, you ask? IOHK, main projects, is what we now know as Cardano. Although Ethereum and Cardano are both smart contract platforms, they do differ in several ways. The first is that Cardano has been a proof-of-stake blockchain from the beginning. This means that instead of Bitcoin's method of doing really hard math problems to mine coins, they validate transactions according to how many tokens the validators stake. So, for example, if you own a lot of ADA, you can take that ADA and have more power in the network than those who have little ADA. Ethereum, however, started as a proof-of-work chain, but is now migrating to become a proof-of-stake chain. Another thing that's important is that, like Bitcoin, Cardano is deflationary. This basically means there is a fixed amount, and in the case of ADA, 45 billion total ADA coins will be minted as opposed to Ethereum, which means more and more Ethereum every year from an economic perspective. That would generally mean that all other things being equal, ADA should increase in value or appreciate more than Ethereum. However, that is as close to price speculation, as we will get to today with the future in mind, though let's take a look at where the Cardano is being used in the real world and where it might be used in the future. Where is Cardano going? Despite the ICO craze of 2017, which was known for a lot of shady scams, Cardano actually started off with an ICO. Where it differs, though, it is from the point on Cardano showed it should be taken seriously through its commitment to rigorously researching and testing its solutions. IOHK helped both the University of Edinburgh and the University of Wyoming support their blockchain and initiatives, and from their has launched into several real-world partnerships where we can see the breadth and depth of Cardano's potential. When we look to its partnerships with the government of Georgia, the country, not the state, and they have decided to build an ID verification system using both Cardano and IOHK Enterprise Solution. Atala. This is already getting more complicated and a little bit outside of the scope of this video, but they followed this in 2021 with an agreement with the government of Ethiopia to use Cardano for ID verification for students. Commercially, though, and likely its most impressive partnership is with New Balance. I know what you're thinking, that's right. IOHK has been hired by New Balance to use its technology to verify the authenticity of its sneakers. Very similar to how VeChain is used to authenticate supply chains using a blockchain. Roadmap. As a methodical and precise organization, IOHK has released a roadmap for Cardano's future, which includes 5 areas: foundation, decentralization, smart contracts, scaling, and then governance, which you can actually read the roadmap. If you'd like, each of these areas take on a new challenge and adds new products and features to Cardano's capabilities. It's safe to say that regardless of any future utility, Cardano will always have a plan for what they do next. So, what are your thoughts about this topic? Do you think this video is useful? Please let me know by leaving a comment down below, and if you enjoyed this video, please press the like button, turn on the notification bell, and subscribe to our channel for more videos like this. Thank you for stopping by to watch. See you on our next video.